When I was first in a kelp forest, it changed me. The Kelp Cathedral is where I had my first truly religious experience. Kelp Forest is my favorite place in the whole world. It was a relatively surgy day. We get pushed back and then pushed through over this rock and then down. And now in front of me is just this beautifully sunlit patch of sand that's dancing with the light. And we realize that the sun is just shining through the kelp canopy, and in a ring all around us is perfect kelp. A forest underwater, and I had never seen that. And I get into that kelp forest and something in my brain clicks where it's like, you are home. That was one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced. And that's when I knew that I was gonna try to spend as much time as I could in kelp. And then eventually I became a kelp photographer. First step to go diving is to make sure that I have a battery in the camera, my flash on, memory card in the camera, make sure that it's all in proper order. Then I take that camera, slide it into the housing, make sure that I'm attaching all the proper safety points to it. Then I check the O-ring, make sure that the O-ring is doing good, grease it up if I need to, turn on the vacuum seal, put the back of the housing on, and start pumping the air out, setting up the vacuum to watch it for 5 minutes. And as long as there's no change to the vacuum pressure, then I know I'm good for the rest of the day. After I get my camera set up, grab my dive gear, grab my fins, grab my camera, put it on and walk to the ocean. The descent is really a matter of making sure, how is my scuba diving doing? Okay, all systems go. All right, now I can go be a photographer. Having the camera makes me look at every scene from a lot of different angles to try to see if that's an interesting story just to me, to other people, and that will determine the types of photos that I feel like I'm taking, but definitely the photos that I'll resonate with when I get home and it's time to edit them. Get out of the water, wash the camera, reintroduce air into the housing, be very mindful not to get water into it, pull off the back, take the camera out, take the memory card, put it into the computer, grab my burrito that I've picked up on the way home, and start the editing process. This is where the magic tends to happen, is in the post-processing, when you get to pick your images that you're going to spend a lot of time with. But I keep also a lot of photos that are poorly lit, terrible backscatter, other things, because there are ways to fix that, and they could sometimes end up being your favorite photo of the dive, just improperly lit, and my edit makes it more real so that people will see a glimpse of what I got to see for an hour. Because one of the things I really enjoy about underwater photography is this opportunity to have two very distinct creative moments. One in the ocean with your camera, taking the photo, being in those conditions, and just trying to, get pixels out from the ocean to bring back to then work on. I just value being able to share what's out there, because I know not everyone can get out there, and I'm very lucky to be able to do what I do, just physically, geographically, economically. It's not easy to be an underwater photographer, and everybody deserves to see what's out there in their backyard, not only in the Monterey community, but just globally. Look at how cool the world is that we live in. Here it is for you to look at.